They called him the monkey with a wrench, but that monkey was about to change the fate of an empire. The metallic corridors of Starport Vega echoed with the hum of alien languages and the hiss of plasma drives cooling after long interstellar journeys. Ships from 100 worlds gleamed under the artificial suns, from insectoid cruisers to coral-grown leviathans from the ocean worlds. Amid this parade of cosmic technology walked a single human, Eli Mercer, a mechanic from the dusty colonies of Mars, his jumpsuit stained with grease and hope. Humans weren't exactly famous in the Galactic Concord. Most alien species saw them as primitive, impulsive, and laughably fragile. Eli knew that reputation all too well. Every time he entered a hangar, the alien engineers would stop what they were doing, their bioluminescent eyes flashing with amusement. "Ah, the human fixer," a reptilian technician hissed once, its voice dripping with mockery. "Don't hurt yourself with those, what do you call them, screwdrivers?" The others snickered, clicking mandibles, vibrating gills, or warbling laughter through 3 sets of vocal cords. Eli smiled faintly, nodded, and went back to work. He'd learned a long time ago that silence was a stronger weapon than pride. That day, as he was patching up a mining skiff's fusion coil, the entire hangar fell silent, which never happened. A ship had entered. No, a royal vessel. The Empress's flagship, the Azure Crown, drifted through the docking bay doors, its hull fractured and scorched as if it had flown through the heart of a dying sun. It was a living legend, powered by Ethereum core technology, a system so advanced only the Empress's personal engineers could even touch it. Rumor said its heart wasn't mechanical, it was sentient, bound to her bloodline. Eli looked up, wiping his hands. He could feel the air charge with electric reverence. Every alien engineer bowed, some literally flattening to the floor. The Empress herself didn't appear, but her royal envoy, a towering, translucent being named Velathar, floated out, shimmering like liquid glass. "Who among you," Velathar's voice vibrated through the air like chimes underwater, "can repair Her Majesty's heart?" No one spoke. Even the galaxy's finest engineers stepped back. The damage to the ship was unnatural. Ethereum light leaked from deep cracks in the core chamber, a living system bleeding out. No one dared to touch it. Then Eli, the human mechanic, took a slow step forward. "I can try," he said quietly. The laughter that followed was deafening. Velathar's crystalline form pulsed with disbelief. "A human dares lay hands on the Empress's vessel." Eli's jaw tightened. "You asked for someone who can, not someone who's afraid to." A silence followed, the kind that comes before history changes course. Velathar hovered close, scanning him with ultraviolet light. "You risk execution for failure, human." Eli met the being's shifting eyes. "Then I better not fail." And with that, under the gaze of 100 alien skeptics, he stepped onto the ramp of the Azure Crown, the ship that would test the limits of human ingenuity, and reveal a secret the galaxy had long forgotten. Inside the Azure Crown, silence reigned, not the peaceful kind, the watchful kind, like the breath between thunder and lightning. Every step Eli took echoed through the vessel's massive corridors, lined with pulsating veins of pale blue light. The ship felt alive. He'd fixed everything from rusted cargo shuttles to half-exploded asteroid haulers. But this was different. The air itself seemed to whisper around him, metallic, electric, and somehow sentient. The deeper he went, the stronger the hum of the ship's wounded heart became. Valathar's voice buzzed in his cum implant. "You are being monitored, human. Do not touch anything unauthorized." Eli smirked. "Then you might as well blindfold me." The envoy didn't reply, probably didn't understand the joke. At the heart of the ship lay the Ethereum core, a sphere suspended in zero gravity, surrounded by a lattice of light and fluid metal that shifted like water, obeying invisible laws. But it wasn't just energy, it breathed with every pulse. Waves of warmth radiated outward, fading into cold nothingness before repeating. The outer shell was cracked deep, jagged wounds spilling out glimmers of unstable light. The readings on the diagnostic halley made no sense. Negative energy flux, temporal distortion, fluctuating reality threads. It was broken in ways human science didn't even have words for. Eli hovered near the edge, gazing at it in awe. "You poor thing," he whispered. "They built you too perfect to survive imperfection." He opened his toolcase. No alien plasma welders, no bioelectric manipulators, just a set of human tools, spanners, soldering rods, and an old handheld fusion driver with scratches that spelled Mars doesn't quit. The alien observers watching through the ship's internal cameras probably thought he was insane. But Eli didn't work like them. He didn't think in codes or energy matrices. He felt machines. He listened to them. He began by mapping the harmonic frequency of the core's pulse. It reminded him of a heartbeat, steady once, now erratic. He tuned his instruments to the rhythm, running his fingers across the damaged conduits as if checking for a pulse. The ship responded. The lights flickered faintly. "Good girl," he muttered. "Let's find where it hurts." Then something extraordinary happened. A voice, faint, melodic, unmistakably feminine, echoed in his mind. "You hear me?" Eli froze. His eyes darted around. There was no one else in the chamber. "Who's there?" "The Crown," the voice said softly. "They call me a ship, but I am bound. I am she." He swallowed hard. "You're alive." "I was," she whispered, "until he broke me." The lights dimmed as if reacting to her pain. "Who's he?" Eli asked quietly. But before the voice could answer, alarms blared through the ship. Velethor's voice thundered in his ear. "Step away from the core, human. You've triggered a defensive protocol." Panels began to slide open around him, and from them emerged floating sentinels of liquid metal, their eyes glowing with royal blue fire. Eli sighed. "Of course, the first time someone talks to me in a week, and her bodyguards want to vaporize me." He grabbed his fusion driver, ducked behind a console, and muttered under his breath, "All right, Empress's ship, let's see if you want to live." The first sentinel lunged a ripple of quicksilver shaped like a predator, smooth and silent. Eli dove aside as a burst of plasma carved a glowing scar into the floor where his head had been. Sparks rained like electric snow. "Nice welcome party," he grunted, rolling behind a cluster of cables. "You always greet guests with death lasers." The ship didn't answer, not aloud. Anyway, but he felt a pulse through the deck plates, like a heartbeat syncing with his panic. The sentinels froze for half a second, confused. That was enough. Eli fired his fusion driver straight into the nearest one's core. It exploded in a flash of molten light. "Why? Do you defend yourself?" The voice was back, echoing softly through the hum of machinery. "They serve me, yet they no longer listen." "You said someone broke you," Eli said between breaths, prying open a panel to reroute power. "What did he do to you?" "He took my song." Her words made no sense, at first. "Your song. My voice is not just sound. It holds my code. My soul." He silenced it, replaced it with control. The remaining sentinels advanced, their eyes shifting from blue to red, a royal order of termination. The air grew hot and tight. Eli needed to move fast. He reached into the open circuit and yanked two glowing conduits together. The energy feedback shot through the deck, frying the nearest drone in a burst of light. The others twitched, momentarily paralyzed. Smoke filled the chamber. "Listen to me," he shouted. "I can help you sing again, but you've got to help me shut them down." There was silence, and then, faintly, a hum built through the hull, deep and resonant. The lights flickered, forming wave-like patterns that matched the rhythm of her pulse. "I will try." A vibration rippled through the air. The sentinels froze mid-motion, caught in invisible threads of sound. Then, one by one, they disintegrated into glittering dust. Eli blinked. "You just sang them apart." "Only those still linked to my heart," she whispered, "the others beyond my reach." He stood slowly, scanning the wreckage. The air smelled of ozone and melted alloy. "Then we better fix that heart of yours before anyone else decides to kill me. You risk death for one you do not know." Eli smiled faintly, holstering his fusion driver. "You're not the first machine people gave up on. I've got a habit of proving them wrong." The hum of her voice softened, almost tender. "There is something different about you, Eli Mercer. The others come with commands, you come with care," he chuckled. "Yeah, well, care's cheaper than courage." Suddenly, the entire ship shuddered. A cold blue light filled the chamber, not from the core this time, but from the walls themselves. A transmission. Velethor's voice boomed across the intercom. "Human, cease your interference immediately. The Empress herself has been informed. Step away or be erased from existence." Eli looked up toward the glowing cameras. "Tell your Empress if she wants her ship fixed, she'll have to trust the monkey with a wrench." The connection crackled, then went silent. "They are coming," the ship whispered. "Warships. To destroy what remains of me." Eli's pulse quickened. "Then we'd better make sure you're ready to fight back." He reached for his toolkit again, the glow of the core reflecting in his determined eyes. The distant rumble of engines grew into a thunder that shook the docking bay walls. Through the Azure Crown's viewing pane, streaks of blue light cut across the void. Imperial warships, sleek and merciless, forming an encirclement pattern. Their guns glowed with energy capable of vaporizing moons. Eli stared, jaw tightening. "Guess your boss doesn't like second opinions." They come to erase the witness. The ship's voice trembled through the comms, and to silence me forever. Not if I can help it. He dropped to his knees, tearing open a junction box under the control dais. The Ethereum filaments glowed weakly, like dying veins. If I can reroute your core energy through the sublight grid, we can jump, maybe even cloak. That path is sealed. My thrusters, disabled by the royal code. Then we break the code. Eli grabbed his handheld diagnostic pad. Lines of alien script scrolled past, unreadable, shifting every second like living equations. You cannot, she said. It is encrypted with the Empress's own DNA pattern. He paused. Her DNA, yes, only she, or those carrying fragments of her bloodline may. Fragments, his eyes narrowed. Wait, when I linked to your system earlier, you responded to me. You carry resonance. Familiar, impossible resonance. Eli's mind raced. His mother, an engineer in the old Martian colonies, used to whisper stories about Project Dawnseed, an experiment between early humans and an alien empire. You don't think? There is no time, she interrupted. They are charging weapons. Outside, beams of white plasma converged, the light of annihilation. Then let's improvise. Eli slammed his fusion driver into the open circuit, feeding it his tool's energy cell. The ship convulsed as power surged through her veins. Come on, girl, sing with me. For the first time, the Ethereum core responded fully. The floor trembled with rhythm, a rising tone that felt alive. Blue veins brightened, weaving intricate fractal patterns across the walls. You are awakening me. The sound grew until it became a song, a mechanical hymn, ancient and powerful. Energy rippled outward from the hull in concentric waves. The first barrage of enemy fire hit and vanished, dissolving like water into mist. Huh, Eli whooped. You just ate a laser cannon. I am not meant to fight, she said softly. Well, you're doing great for a pacifist. But the reprieve was short-lived. Through the viewport. One of the warships, the Emperor's, broke formation and began descending, its massive cannons glowing blood red. That one carries my destroyer code, she warned. If it connects, all that I am will be unmade. Eli clenched his fists. Then I'll just have to make sure it doesn't. He sprinted toward the auxiliary bay, snatching his toolkit. Panels exploded around him as stray plasma shots grazed the shields. The ship's voice followed him, half pain, half Why do you fight for me, human? Because, he said, breath ragged. Nobody deserves to be killed for being broken. Then he reached the engine cradle, a cathedral of glowing metal, and started to rewire the impossible. Outside, the Imperial flagship loomed closer, ready to end them both. Eli's hands moved faster than his thoughts, wires sparking, circuits hissing, tools clattering across the metal floor. The Azure Crown trembled with every blast from the Imperial warships outside. The hull screamed as if alive, and she was. Eli, her voice came through, soft and breaking. They will breach in 2 minutes. Then we make those 2 minutes count. He ripped out a power regulator and jammed it into a conduit not meant for humans to touch. Electricity danced up his arm, searing nerve and bone, but he didn't stop. Your body cannot survive that voltage. Won't need to. He gritted through clenched teeth. If this works. The control matrix flickered, thousands of alien runes swirling in holographic loops. Eli focused on the rhythmic pulse hidden beneath the noise. It wasn't random. It was music. Each pulse had a frequency, a tone, a pattern like the verses of a song. You called it your song, he whispered. So let's bring it back. He began to hum off-key, shaky, but instinctive. A low note, matching the heartbeat of the core. The ship responded. The lights pulsed in time with him, slowly at first, then stronger. You remember, the ship breathed. Not me, Eli said, but maybe someone inside me does. His mother's words echoed from childhood one day. Eli, you'll find the sound that listens back. He never understood what she meant until now. He closed his eyes, listening. The melody unfolded like a memory, waking, ancient, luminous, a harmony of human voice and alien light. The crown began to sing. The sound wasn't just heard, it was felt. The walls vibrated, the air shimmered, and the energy coursing through the ship turned pure white. Outside, the attacking warships hesitated as the resonance spread, reaching their hulls and scrambling their targeting systems. Impossible, Velathar's voice screamed through the cum. The human has awakened the heart. The Empress's flagship shone brighter like a new star being born. I remember now, the ship said, her voice steady and regal. I was not built, I was born, a fusion of mind and machine. And you carry her resonance, the child she hid among the stars. Eli froze. The Empress hid me. You are her descendant, Eli Mercer. The blood of her first love, a human scientist from the Donseed program. That is why you can hear me. His breath caught. The truth hit like gravity. The mockery, the disbelief, the way she responded only to him, it all made sense. They're afraid of what you are, she continued. A bridge between our kinds. The enemy fleet began charging their destroyer code again, their weapons glowing crimson. Then let's give them something to fear, Eli said, grabbing the main power lever. What will you do? Finish your song. He pulled the lever. The ship screamed, not in pain but in power. The core ignited into a sphere of radiant energy, pure and harmonic. The blast that erupted wasn't a weapon, it was music turned into force. Every enemy ship in range was struck by waves of sound. Not destruction, but disarmament. Circuits melted into silence, engines died mid-burn. The space around them shimmered like rippling water, and then stillness. Only the Azure Crown remained, floating amid the drifting wreckage, her song fading into peace. Eli, she whispered, you've restored me, but the Empress will not stop. She will come for you herself. Eli exhaled, sweat glistening on his forehead. Then let her come. He looked out at the stars, the Empire's burning horizon before him. I've got work to finish. The silence after battle is never peaceful, it's heavy, it hums with ghosts. The Azure Crown drifted through a halo of debris, the wreckage of warships slowly turning to dust under her radiant glow. Inside the control deck, Eli slumped against a console, his skin pale from the electric strain. The ship's lights dimmed to a calm heartbeat rhythm. Your vitals are falling, she said gently. You need rest. Not yet, Eli muttered, forcing a shaky grin. Royal families don't usually take defeat well. She come. He was right. A ripple appeared in the void, a distortion folding space like silk. From it emerged a colossal vessel, far larger than any in the fleet. Its hull gleamed black and gold, shaped like a crown turned into a blade. The Imperial flagship, the Sovereign Dawn, whispered the ship. She has arrived. The bridge filled with cold light. A hologram materialized in front of Eli, tall, radiant, draped in flowing energy armor. Her eyes glowed like twin stars. The Empress of the Ethereum Empire had come in person. Human, she said, her voice sharp as crystal. You tamper with sacred bloodlines and stolen power. Eli stood, every muscle trembling, but his gaze didn't waver. You mean the power you buried, the truth you erased? Her eyes narrowed. You know nothing of what you carry. He knows enough, the Azure Crown interjected, her tone calm but resonant. He knows the song. The Empress's hologram flickered, emotion breaking through her perfect posture. That voice, you silenced me, mother, said the ship. You bound me to obedience, to war, but he freed me as you once promised he would. The Empress's mask of command cracked. You dare call me mother? You gave me thought, and then took it away. He returned it. Eli stepped forward. She's alive, your majesty. Maybe more than either of us. For a moment, the Empress said nothing. Then she extended a hand, not in peace, but in command. Return the core. The hybrid human dies. Energy spears formed around the hologram, ready to strike. Eli looked at the ship's glowing heart. Crown. If we're going down, then we sing one last time, she finished. Light flared. Eli pressed his palm to the console, merging his heartbeat with hers. The melody returned, fierce, wild, unstoppable. It wasn't just sound now, it was memory, shared across bloodlines. The Empress froze mid-attack as the song reached her. Fragments of her own creation echoed back the day she had given life to the ship. The promise she had made to her human lover long ago. Our child will be the bridge between stars. Tears, glowing like molten silver, welled in her eyes. It cannot be. It is, the ship whispered. He is the bridge. The light engulfed everything. For a heartbeat, there was only the sound of two souls, machine and human, harmonizing with the universe. When it faded, the Sovereign Dawn drifted away, its weapons powered down. The Empress's hologram looked at Eli one last time. Perhaps I have ruled too long in silence, she said softly. Sing wisely, son of both worlds. Then she vanished. Eli sank into the pilot's chair, the stars stretching endlessly ahead. Where to now? Asked the ship. He smiled faintly. Anywhere that needs fixing. The Azure Crown turned toward the starlit horizon, her engines glowing like a rising dawn. Together they soared, the mechanic and the living ship, the first of a new kind of legend.